Hello and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Hungarian Grand Prix. All 20 drivers covered as we rate them out of 10. Max wins from 10th to 1st and is the 22 champion. I've recorded this once, but we're getting a lot of freezing on the OBS, so it keeps saying encoder overloaded. So I think I tried to adjust some settings. Hopefully it's working now. So let's cover all 20 drivers, and if we do get a bit of freezing, yeah, I'll have to look into it. Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen, I'm both going to give 3. I thought Haas were nowhere this weekend. Mick Schumacher finished 14th, Magnussen 16th, and yeah, Magnussen had to change his wing at the start. Got the black and orange flag, which means you have to pit. Esteban Ocon 8. I mean, he qualified 5th, absolutely outstanding. Obviously, he's got good memory, he's been the winner last year. In the race, P9, very aggressive on Alonso, turn 1. Well, in the first couple of corners. And yeah, Alpine did the wrong strategy by going on the hard tyre. Fernando Alonso 8. A massive save in practice 1, so impressive. Qualified 6th, very unhappy with Ocon on lap 1, finished 8th. Alpine did the wrong strategy, should be nowhere near them hard tyres. Yeah, that was the wrong call. Daniel Ricciardo 5, once again consistently behind Lando Norris. He qualified 9th. In the race he was looking like points, hit Lance Stroll, 5-second penalty, ends up 15th. Yeah. Lando Norris 9. And I possibly could give him 10 to be fair, but I'll stick with 9. He qualifies 4th, it's outstanding, only 0.2 off the Ferraris. He's just really delivering. Now I think he's massively overhyped, Lando Norris, but you gotta give credit where it's due. He's smashing Ricciardo week in, week out. Finishes 7th, and he is the future of McLaren, and the team's just built for him. Nicholas Latifi 5. Now, this is Nicholas Latifi's probably strongest circuit. Unbelievably, in practice 3, he was fastest. In qualifying, he made a mistake in the last corner. Yeah, he ended up finishing last in quali and the race. Well, P18 in the race. 1-1 was last, but yeah, not a bad weekend for Latifi, given his recent performances. I mean, Nicholas Latifi, fastest in a practice session. Alex Albon, 5. Yeah, not Albon's greatest weekend. I mean, he beats Latifi, but yeah, I can't really give him more than 5 this week. P17 in qualifying, lacking downforce, contact with Stroll, had to pit and change his wing. But he still managed to finish ahead of Latifi, even with a wing change. Lewis Hamilton 8. Now, that may be a shock to some people, but 8. P7 in quali. Apparently he had a DRS issue. I'm still yet to see the outside shot of his car and whether he did actually have a DRS issue. But he had a brilliant race. It was like such a quiet race. And then he came to life in the last stint. Just flew past Carlos, flew past George. Fastest lap. Another podium, and Lewis is looking back to his best at the minute. George Russell 10. It has to be 10. What a weekend the male model had. His first pole position in Formula 1. Biggest shock of the season for me. He is a future champion. I don't just come on here and say it for the laughs. I believe he will be a champion. He dominated the start of the race on the soft tyre, but ended up P3. The reality is, Mercedes were out of position. They don't have the pace to win the race. Max 10. I mean, it's got to be 10. He actually qualified 10th, but it wasn't his it was a reliability issue, so it wasn't his fault. And then P10 to P1, just outstanding. Calm, composed, will break every record in F1. He's the champion, 80-point lead, strategy on point. And he even had a little spin and still won by 10 seconds. And, you know, he's just coasting. He's just coasting. He's got a 10-second buffer. He's just coasting out front. You know he could go faster if needed. Yeah, you saw it on the last lap when it started to sprinkle with rain. He just brought it home. Max 3 years ago probably would have got, I don't know, he probably spins more than one occasion. He's very mature at the minute. Sergio Perez, 2. Now, absolutely 2. This guy has been shocking the last couple of rounds. He's actually going down the Albon-Gasly route. I believe he's good enough to be at Red Bull, but the last couple of rounds have been disgraceful. He qualifies 11th, disgraceful. Lap time got deleted, then reinstated. Finished P5, very average. Look what Max does in the race. Checo is not on Max's level. He is a number 2. Asked to move over, does it straight away. His performances recently have been shocking. Charles Leclerc, 8. Now, I'm going to give the Ferrari drivers a good mark because the drivers are doing a good job. The team is doing a shit job. Now, it was Leclerc's fault in France. He's done nothing wrong. He qualifies 3rd. He was leading the race, and then they bring him in. And they tried to cover Max. Should have gone long, soft tyre. They basically did an extra pit stop. The title's gone. He finishes 6th. Yeah, disaster. Carlos Sainz, 8. P2 in quali. Obviously was not happy getting beat by George. P4 in the race. Ferrari are a joke. They really are. The drivers are doing a good job, I would say, but the team make way too many mistakes. Strategy. Back-to-back weekends. Gasly, 4. Now, his qualifying was terrible, but in the race he did a good job. Qualifying 19th. His lap time got deleted. He started from the pit lane. Great fight back in the race to P12. 1 2. Yuki Tsunoda, man, that is frustrating. He's actually doing a good job in qualifying, but his races are shocking at the minute. Yeah, he beat Gasly by 0.3, destroyed Gasly, and then in the race, again, dreadful. It's so poor. He spun at the chicane, and he finishes last. It's so poor. I don't know. Valtteri Bottas, 5, qualifies 8th, retires in the race, so I usually give the retirements a standard 5. Retired, another reliability issue for Alfa Romeo. Guan Yu Zhou, 6, qualified 12th, finished 13th. A decent weekend for Guan Yu Zhou, I would say. If Bottas would have finished, I would have actually gave him probably a good solid 7. Sebastian Vettel, 7. He comes into the weekend. He announces his retirement. Wasn't really a shock, but it was a sad day for Formula 1. Vettel's qualifying was not good. Practice 3, he smashed the car up. Then he had to help the mechanics get it ready for quali. Qualified 18th, but he finished 10th in the race. Very strong race by Seb. And yeah, it was a sad day, him announcing his retirement. Last but not least, Lance Stroll, 7. Yeah, qualified 14th. He should have been in the points in the race. He actually had a strong race, but he had contact with Albon, and then Ricciardo wiped him out. Yeah, unlucky for Lance, really, because he would have easily been in the points. So let's do the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we have it. Driver ratings for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Driver ratings will divide opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with my mark, but I try to be fair as possible and no bias. I don't think many people will agree with my Lewis Hamilton score. But, yeah, I'm yet to see his car, whether he did actually have a DRS issue. But there we have it. We got basically a month off now. Summer break. F1 videos will continue daily, but yeah, it's been fast-paced. And yeah, it will be good to have a rest. Media, pit crews, teams, drivers, all get a rest. And we'll go again at the end of August. Thanks for watching.